Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Samantha Bloedel. I'm an Aura Intuitive Reiki Master Teacher and Spiritual Mentor. And today's video is all about the color tan in your aura. There are four main colors of tan that a lot of other people talk about, but then there's some other colors that are close to that color and in that spectrum. And so today I will be going over my perception of those tan colors, because I also, as I've been going through all these colors, it is what I've been seeing and what I have noticed as far as learning about what the colors mean. So somebody else may perceive some of these colors in a different way. It is about you feeling the vibration of the color and seeing if any part of this resonates with you. So let's just get right into it. So the first tan color that we're going to talk about is beige. Beige tends to be a color that people use to kind of neutralize things. It is more muted, obviously. And also, if I'm seeing in someone's aura, it tends to be that they're conservative. They're not risk takers. They tend to really like to follow rules. I will admit this, tend to not care for beige, and it has a lot to do with that holding back of energy and kind of not getting out there and doing things. I guess I'm more of a go-getter. So anyway, but that's just, we're all different. So the next color is the color of sand. Now, beautiful, beautiful sand. Sometimes you have the white sand, but I'm talking about the kind of light, almost a lot of times looks like sugar that you've mixed a little bit of maybe cinnamon into or honey into. So it has a little bit of a golden color to it. So sand is usually, when I see it in someone's aura, it's kind of a wake-up call for them to really tap into their inner creator. Like they, as we know, a lot of times we don't even know we're creating things in our life. And so usually this sand is about, just like the saying, sands of time, is about paying attention to how you're creating things, and are you wasting time not creating what you want in your life. So sand a lot of times shows up when someone's kind of at a crossroads, where they really need to pay attention to what their inner creator, what they are creating. So the next color is oats, like oatmeal. Well, oatmeal and oats are of course, a little bit different shade when it's cooked. But as you know, the saying, sowing your oats, is normally when you're kind of going wild and and crazy. But this is not quite the same thing. And when I see this oat color, and or even sometimes visually, intuitively, I see a bowl of oatmeal. I know that sounds funny, but it really is about you not forgetting to play along the way. It's usually, I see this in somebody who's maybe working way too much and they're not really enjoying life. They're not really making sure that they get out there and sow their oats up and do things. And so it, there again, a lot of people get caught up into the work grind and, oh, I've got to pay bills and I got to keep going. And yes, we need to do that, but you also need to know, you keep doing that, and next thing you know, it's 20 years later and you haven't done much for yourself. So we are here to also play and enjoy life. So the next color is eggnog. And yes, eggnog, I could have put this in the yellow video that I did earlier, but eggnog is kind of a lighter color. Sometimes it looks a slight yellowish, like we said. And usually eggnog, when I see it, is about you really tapping into nostalgia. You're tapping into past times, but I guess you would say the negative. There's all positive and negative with every color in our aura. The negative to that is sometimes you're just so nostalgic that you're either running from what's happening in your current life, or you're looking for answers in your past. And yes, sometimes we learn from our mistakes from our past, but a lot of times that's not who you are. Who you are is who you are in the present time. That's who you were, not who you are now. So by looking for the answers in the past, it just kind of blocks up your system where you can't seem to find the answers. And a lot of times people get frustrated because they can't find the answers to something because they're not really looking forward and opening to possibilities. They're always thinking that something about them is going to be uncovered from their past that will help them figure it out. So there's positives and negatives to every side. So the next color is Camel. So, you know, Camel is a beautiful kind of slightly golden beige, I guess you would say. And just like camels, they're very self-sufficient. They know how to save their energy. So they know how to take long, like they'll drink a lot of water, but then they'll not drink for a long time. And so they have to know how to save their energy to maintain on that little bit. So the same thing with Camel in someone's aura is usually when someone's very much about self-sustaining, they do tend to then sometimes be more focused on safety. So they don't go, they're not thrill seekers. They're not running around doing stuff because it is the long journey. It is the journey, not the destination for them. And it is about their longevity. So the next color is, now we get into the 4 main tans that a lot of other aura readers talk about. So the next one is abstract tan. And abstract tan has tan with a red stripe with it. So it's like tan, a thicker, dark tan with a red band also around next to it. So when you have this, all of the tans are sensitive colors. They really are. But the abstract tan is always when you're very optimistic. You're almost childlike. So you're a little bit naive in some ways, innocent in some ways. But your energy is very scattered. And the reason why is just like a child. They're over here coloring, and then they see something toy, they want over there, so they run over and get it, and then and they're over here. So same thing, just like I said about the childlike energy, is they, even if they don't seem so childlike as they get older, they still have that scattered energy where they can't seem to organize things in there, because they're open, they're so optimistic that they're open to all possibilities. And because of that, they just totally open their aura to any energy, and they're very scattered. So anyway, then the next color is environmental tan. And environmental tan is the tan, there's a band of tan, but then there's also this kind of dark forest green. And this one is all about, they lack empathy. So they have a very hard time. They're more logical thinking. But they do like to touch things. They're very tactile. So a lot of people who have this environmental tan tend to be people who do, like, let's say, build a log cabin in the woods, things like that, because they're tactile, but at the same time, they're very much, it's hard for them to become friends. And when they do become friends, or they do find a relationship, they're very loyal. Like they just, that's their person. So anyway, obviously there's nothing wrong with that. And it is about, and when we say lack empathy, it's just they're so caught up in feeling the environment, feeling everything, that they get overwhelmed with people, and so they don't understand the social norms sometimes. So the next color is logical tan, and logical tan is always very close to the body. When you have logical tan in your aura, you are the most sensitive of all these tans. You're very methodical. Usually, I do see OCD in this. They tend to be the least flexible people. So you've met people that are very stubborn. They probably most likely have this logical tan. And as you imagine, logical means they like proof of everything. They want logic and facts, and they have to see it to believe it. They would never believe in anything that is not, they don't like fantasy. They tend to watch the news, which there's nothing wrong with watching the news, but if you watch it all the time, sometimes it's just overwhelming, of course, nowadays. So logical tans just tend to be people that, I guess they don't sound too good because they're very stubborn and methodical, but we kind of need those people because these are kind of people that get work done because they can focus. They're very methodical, and they find all the steps that have to happen for something to happen. So usually that they're also very brilliant people that might do advanced engineering work, let's say, or somebody who's has to do a very big project, an architect, things like that, because they know all the steps that need to be done to get this done. So anyway, then the last of the tans that most people talk about is sensitive tan. And sensitive tan as tan band, but then it also has blue with it, a beautiful glowing blue band that comes with that. And they're very quiet and nurturing. They tend to stay calm in chaos, but the downfall of them, the negative side of that, is the fact that they're so nurturing and they're so focused on how can I be of service to people that they forget to be nurturing to themselves, to love themselves. So it's obviously, you can love too much, even though people may say you can, to the point where you just, it's a give and receive with us. And so that also includes how much time we personally give. It's not like what we get from the outside. Sometimes it's how much time we give to ourselves, how much love we give to our body, and appreciate and feel gratitude for what we're going through. So anyway, those are the tans, and I would love to hear it if you, in the comments below, if you see a tan or another beige or a different kind of color that's like this, and what do you perceive about tan? So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and please subscribe, because it'll help my channel, of course. And I'll be back next week with a wonderful video with more colors. So I'll see you then. Bye.